So there is a lot to talk about on this episode of Game of Thrones entitled Home. Just a quick warning, this video contains spoilers up until Season 6 Episode 2 and possibly beyond, as I'm going to be making some predictions and exploring some theories. So I'm going to jump right into the biggest talking point of the episode, and that is of course that Jon Snow is alive. He's back! And it pretty much went down as we all predicted, through the Red Priestess Melisandre. So it's Sir Davos who comes and asks a very depressed Melisandre if there's something she can do to help Jon Snow. She morbidly replies the best help she can give him is to let him remain dead. She has seemingly almost completely lost her faith in the Lord of Light. Of course, she saw a great victory in the flames at Winterfell with Jon Snow riding to victory, and now he's dead. So woe is me, she's probably thinking. And she's at the point of giving up. But it's Sir Davos who reminds her of the miracles she has performed. She is reminded that Thoros was able to use this magic to resurrect Beric Dondarrion on several occasions, and Sir Davos implores her to try. She performs the spell and ritual as best she can, but everyone leaves disappointed and deflated when it seemingly doesn't work, only for us to see Jon Snow gasp for air. It was an incredible scene, and even though I fully expected it to happen, I had, just like Torment, Sir Davos and Melisandre, almost given up. Kit Harington, who of course plays Jon Snow, had this to say to the fans in a recent article in Entertainment Weekly. "I'd like to say I'm sorry for lying to everyone. I'm glad that people were upset that he died. I think my biggest fear was that people were not going to care. Or it would just be fine. Jon Snow's dead." But of course we love Jon Snow. He goes on to say that Jon Snow's role in the show is going to be bigger than ever, and we are no doubt finally going to get confirmation as to Jon Snow's parentage. Bran has been practicing his green sight abilities with the three-eyed raven. This ability is separate from warging, and it allows him to see the past, present, and sometimes future. So this is the first time we have seen him go into the past. It's quite incredible as he sees his father Ned Stark and Ned's younger brother Benjen practicing their fighting as younger boys. We also see Ned's sister Lyanna Stark, who Bran comments he's seen in the crypt, but that his father never talks about her. Now, Bran being able to peer into the past is no doubt how we are going to be informed regarding the events of Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen, and of course the Tower of Joy and all that good stuff, as of course Jon Snow is rumoured to be the son of Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen. This is of course the widely believed R+L J theory. So we're finally introduced to Lyanna Stark riding into Winterfell. Now she interrupts her brother's sparring, and you can clearly see that she's a very confident, strong-willed young woman. And Ned even made comparisons in the past with his sister Lyanna and his daughter Arya. Now, the reason why I'm exploring what type of person Lyanna is, now this is important because when we consider that Robert Baratheon's version of the events between Lyanna and Rhaegar is that Rhaegar kidnapped and raped Lyanna. But the Lyanna we're introduced to in this episode hardly looks like the type of person that would allow herself to be kidnapped, at least not without a fight. So the true nature of the relationship between Lyanna and Rhaegar is yet to be fully explained, as well as her dying wish to her brother Ned. This wish was in all likelihood focused on the safety of her son Jon. Of course, if Jon Snow is her child, it's incredibly significant, as it would immediately make Jon and Daenerys blood relatives, in that he would be her nephew. Daenerys, of course, is the much younger sister of Rhaegar. The followers of the Lord of Light believe in a prophecy of Azor Ahai, who is prophesied to save the world from darkness, no doubt referring to defeating the real threat to the Seven Kingdoms, the White Walkers and the Night King. Melisandre, of course, believed that the prophesied Azor Ahai was Stannis, which is why she is depressed when he dies, as her entire faith is built around his success. But it now seems that Jon Snow is possibly Azor Ahai, and it brings further meaning to the Song of Ice and Fire, because he is a Stark, Ice, and a Targaryen, Fire. Let's now catch up with some of the events in Meereen. Tyrion comes up with a drunken plan to release Daenerys' dragons. Fortunately, it works out for him in the end, and it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Tyrion will be able to control Daenerys' dragons, as this is significant due to the fact that it's only Targaryens who can control dragons, because they have the so-called blood of the dragon. There's also a very strong possibility that Tyrion could turn out to be a secret Targaryen himself, like Jon Snow, as his mother was apparently fancied by the Mad King Aerys Targaryen. It's rumored that Aerys abused his rights as king and slept with Tyrion's mother Joanna. So in other words, it's possible that Tyrion's father is not Tywin Lannister, who he pretty much hated and of course killed on the Loo. So the fact that Tyrion seems to have some control over the dragons pretty much confirms the fact that this rumor could be true. But how he's going to have this confirmed is a mystery, as of course the Mad King was killed by Tyrion's brother Jaime Lannister, and his mother died giving birth to him. So in the books, Daenerys has a vision in the House of the Undying in Qarth. Remember when they tried to steal Daenerys' dragons from her in season 2, episode 10? So in this vision, she hears her brother Rhaegar saying that the dragon has 3 heads. And this vision is also rumored to be a prophecy tied to the Azor Ahai. So the popular theory is that the 3 heads of the dragon refer to the 3 remaining Targaryens. In other words, Daenerys, Jon Snow, and possibly Tyrion, with Jon and Tyrion being half Stark and Lannister respectively. So this is all very exciting territory that we're moving into this season. In King's Landing, King Tommen asks his mother for forgiveness for allowing the High Sparrow to take her and his wife. He realizes that he's weak and has asked her help in order to make it right. And we are no doubt heading for a massive confrontation with the High Sparrow. And let's hope they manage to save Marjorie soon. Now, the last king of the War of the Five Kings, Euron Greyjoy, is murdered by his brother Euron. Now, this is the first time that we see Euron on the show. Euron is, of course, the younger brother of Balon. In the books, he was banished from the Iron Islands for raping his brother's wife, and since his banishment has been going around murdering, raping, and pillaging towns. He's essentially a pirate. His ship's name is the Silence because he cut out all of his crew's tongues. This is, of course, referenced in the show. We also learn in the episode that Theon has decided to go back home, and it's going to be interesting to see what impact this has, especially now that the crown is in dispute in the Iron Islands. In the books, Euron has aspirations, of course, to be king, and it appears this is going to be the case on the show. But the law on the Iron Islands is that the new ruler is decided by a Kingsmoot, where the new king is selected from all the lords and captains. In other words, the king of the Iron Islands is not a hereditary monarchy, but more of a somewhat democratic process, but not a general election where everyone votes. It's only the lords and captains that have a vote. And as Euron Greyjoy says to Yara, your father does not get to choose. The law is clear. Perhaps she'll win, perhaps she'll be the first woman in history to lead the Ironborn. And perhaps not. The winner of the most shocking moment of the episode once again goes to Ramsay Bolton, who this week seeks to new depths. Upon hearing the news that his baby brother was born, he decides to kill his father, stepmother, and baby brother. He apparently wasn't too happy about not being the sole heir anymore, and it goes without saying that he has an issue sharing. But setting the hounds on his stepmother and stepbrother was once again ridiculous, and the show seems intent on trying to one-up themselves every episode to see how evil they can make the character. We get it, he's evil. We, however, have no sympathy for Roose Bolton, as he was of course responsible for the Red Wedding. So Ramsay now has the complete control of House Bolton and the support of the Casterks, Umbers, and Manderleys, and plans to march on Winterfell. So let's hope that Sansa, Brienne, and Podrick can warn the magically resurrected Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, aka Jon Targaryen. I mean Snow. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and then share it. If you haven't already, why not check out my review and Easter egg breakdown of Captain America Civil War. I post lots of videos every week on comic book, movies, TV, including Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and other blockbusters, so why not subscribe? Thanks again. Cheers for now.